my mom named me after Christian Dior, so I think this is what I was supposed to be. I was a teacher for 7 years. I did a degree in sociology and a first year law, and everything I try would never work. I keep coming back to fashion, and that is where I am now and what I love. I think it went back to the making doll clothing because I started sewing at 8, and my mom would visit us on weekends because she was working in Port of Spain. I'm from Sangre Grande. So she would come home on weekends, and every time she would come home, she would have to look for her scissors, tape, and I am there sewing and she's having a fit. There's this thing called a Macintosh. It's usually something that they'll use to line your bed when you have babies. So it's a thick material in between rubber and plastic. So I made a skirt out of it, and I'm at the airport picking up my mom, and she goes, "I love that skirt. What is that? Who did that?" And I was like, "That is me." So when she came back, my grandmother got sick, and she's looking for this Macintosh to line the bed, and she can find it. She's like, "Oh my God, you took my thing and made a skirt." And she's like, "I don't know what to do with you." So that was like my first real piece. One night, well, the wee hours of the morning, I was up thinking, what could be my signature? How would I allow people to look at a piece and say, "This is ChristianBoucaud," and be in love with it and hunt me down to find it. That is what I wanted, people to hunt me down to find my pieces and be so in love with it. And I played around with a few ideas, and that is when I came up with my obi belt, the cording. So when I came up with that, I said this could be one of the ways people can identify my work. When I just started, Trinidadians or Caribbean people, they weren't into fashion, local fashion as much. Let me say that is changing. I have most of my clients are young, and I have a lot of clients from Trinidad. Shocking, because I always thought, would Trinidadians wear my clothing, or would Caribbean people want to wear my clothing? I have people from Trinidad wearing my clothing, and as well as around the Caribbean. Up to yesterday, a store from Jamaica contacted me to carry my clothing. So that is, what else could I want, to please Caribbean people, show my aesthetic and have them wear it proudly. I try to incorporate my heritage, as well as we're a cosmopolitan country, so I try to infuse all the different cultures in my pieces. One of my first collections, I did African prints, and recently, last year, I did a collection out of East Indian prints. I imported pieces from India and I turned them into clothing. This year, I did a costume for island people, and that was the theme of the costume, infusing the two. It isn't difficult if it's something you love. Every time, it is easy for you to reinvent yourself and invent something because it's what you love, it's your passion. For me, I get inspiration from anything, be it clothing, the sky, the sea, a book, a poem. I started getting recognition internationally. I did a piece to Michelle Williams out of Destiny's Child, and that was huge. So I have a lot of people contacting me outside of Trinidad, and that is where I want to go. I want to take Trinidad and the ChristianBoucaud brand internationally and turn it into a successful international and local brand. I'm ChristianBoucaud, and I'm homegrown for the morning brew.